circuit to the present. I am Dr. Dennis Doster, and I am Program Director of the MNC PPC Black History Program, which is part of the Natural and Historic Resources Division of the Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County of the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission. So this is a long-standing tradition that we have here, and having this opening reception in order to kick off Black History Month, which we all know is very big here in Prince George's County. And this is one of many events that you will see throughout the month. So we encourage you to go to www.pgparks.com/blackhistory to learn about all of the great programming that is being held this month throughout the county. And so we'll get started with today's program. As was mentioned, this is our opening reception for our Taking Center Stage exhibition, which is built off of the national theme for Black History Month, which is set by the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, which is African Americans and the Arts. And of course, we have a very rich history in this region and in this county as it relates to the arts. And so we're focusing in on music in the arts to be able to tell this story of segregation to integration and inclusion, and looking at the wonderful artistry and the wonderful legendary musicians that have performed here in Prince George's County. So we will start off the program with opening remarks from the Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County, Mr. Bill Tyler.
And good afternoon to you all. I hope that you've enjoyed yourself at the opening part of the reception with the food and all of the art that you saw in the gallery. Did you? Awesome. Thank you, Dennis, for that opening. I am Bill Tyler, Director of the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Department of Parks and Recreation in Prince George's County. On behalf of myself and the senior leadership, welcome to the 2024 Black History Month opening reception poster unveiling. As was mentioned, each year the Park and Recreation staff puts significant effort into cultivating a series of educational, entertaining, and enriching activities to celebrate Black History Month, and each year we kick off these exciting events with this opening reception, as was mentioned earlier. The opening of the exhibit, carefully cultivated by the Black History Program Manager, Dr. Doster, whom you just heard from, and the unveiling of the coveted Black History Month poster, which we will do later in the program. I know that you are anticipating that, so am I. I have not seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to that. But I do want to acknowledge the staff, leadership, and each person who made all of this happen. The exhibition team, the MNC PPC Black History Program staff, Dr. Doster, Atura Jackson, Kathy Adario, Dennis Doster again, Stuart Diekmeyer, Alex Simpson, Aturia Jackson, Brittany McGowan, Eric Wheatley, Ellen Walter, Sandra Perez Ramos, and Sarah Capraletti. If we could give a hand for those folks now. Thank you. For hosting us today, Harmony Hall Arts Center, Pamela London, Warren Sharon, and Jonathan Archer hosting. Our executive and division leadership, Deputy Director Steve Carter, Christine Fanning and Kevin Cabrera from the Natural and Historic Resources, Katrina Williams and Sona Kitchens, Arts and Cultural Heritage, and Alex Teef, Public Affairs and Community Engagement. Another round, please. This year's theme, Taking Center Stage, Black Musicians in Prince George's County Music Venues from the Chitlin Circuit to the present, is an especially engaging one for me. It highlights the ingenuity, business savvy, talent, and cultural growth of this county and the country. The MNC PPC Department of Parks and Recreation is proud to bring artists of all ethnicities to perform at our venues like Harmony Hall, Montpelier Arts Center, and the Public Playhouse year-round. Even our annual outdoor festivals welcome local, national, and international artists. The Chitlin circuit, and I'm from North Carolina, I do know chitlins, although I did not eat them. How many of you in the audience are familiar with chitlins? How many of you are from the South? Yeah, okay. Well, the Chitlin circuit was what they called the musical venues in the South and Eastern states that were safe for musicians, comedians, and other black artists during segregation. It helped launch the extremely successful careers of so many well-known artists like Cab Calloway, B.B. King, Duke Ellington, Ray Charles, the Supremes, Jimi Hendrix, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Otis Redding, the Isley Brothers, and the Jackson 5 and others. Several of the venues gained notoriety that lasts until today: the Cotton Club and the Apollo Theater in New York City, the Howard Theater in D.C., the Royal Theater in Baltimore, and the Uptown Theater in Philadelphia. Right here in Brandywine, there was a Wilmers Park where artists like Ike and Tina Turner, the Shy-Lights, Patti LaBelle, and Stevie Wonder performed before they were headliners, and white-only venues that let them perform as long as they came in through the back door. In the 80s and 90s, Wilmers Park stayed relevant by hosting festivals and acts of all ages, races, and genres, including local go-to acts like Little Benny and the Junkyard Band, even the heavy metal band Metallica. And a champion in our midst today of Wilmers Park is our own County Council Vice Chair Harrison. I know he's here. Where is he? There he is, right there. Hand, please. This year's exhibit highlights many more stories that contributed to the thriving entertainment legacy. If you've not had a chance to walk through the exhibit, please do so again and again and again. It is most awesome. And take all the photos you can and post them wherever you can so that you can give this wonderful facility a lot of notoriety. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Peter Shapiro, the chairman of the Prince George's County Planning Board and the Maryland National Park and Planning Commission. Thank you so much for being here today. It is our pleasure to be here with you, and enjoy the rest of the program.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks to my colleague, Director Tyler, for the warm introduction. And on behalf of the Prince George's County Planning Board of the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, I want to greet you all, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm honored to stand before you today and welcome you as we gather to celebrate Black History Month and celebrate Black culture, and specifically to embark on a historical journey through music. I walked through that exhibit back there, and oh my gosh, did I have lots of interesting memories. It's just a fabulous thing. Love those posters. Trying to figure out from my team where they got them. But it really was powerful and touching. This year's theme resonates with that. This year's theme resonates with resilience, the achievements and the legacies of African American musicians within Prince George's County. I'm excited to explore and celebrate this amazing history throughout today's program, and to learn about the music venues in Prince George's County that provided safety, inclusivity, and joy for so many people. African American artists continue to emphasize the importance of preserving history through art, while also using these mediums for empowerment and celebration. It is indeed a privilege to have with us today a number of distinguished guests who made indelible contributions to the culture and to our community, and I'm looking forward to hearing from them and again participating in this program. I also want to introduce some of the elected officials that we have in the room with us. We are joined by our House Delegation Chair and representative from the 22nd District, Delegate Nicole Williams. My delegate as well, if I may add. We're also joined by, as Director Tyler noted, we're joined by our Council Vice Chair, Sidney Harrison, and I'm picking up what Bill said too, but he has been the strongest and staunchest advocate for Wilmers Park and the legacy and the future of that venue. So thank you, Vice Chair Harrison. Are there other elected officials? There were some on my list, but I didn't see any. Any other elected officials? Raise your hand. Am I missing anybody? No. Okay, good. And I'm also joined by our vice chair for the planning board, my friend, my colleague, the Honorable Dorothy Bailey. I would also like to applaud the dynamic team, as Director Tyler did, within the Department of Parks and Recreation for their work on the planning, all the details from this exhibit to the commemorative poster to today's program, all the exciting events. It is such an impressive team that does such wonderful things for this county. I could not be more proud of them and the work that they do. So thank you again for joining us, and please give a warm welcome to our panelists and our esteemed guests. Happy Black History Month to all of us. Thank you. I'm now going to turn the program over to Dr. Dennis Doster.
So I paid the price for not having my glasses earlier, and I skipped over by accident our video presentation of Lift Every Voice and Sing. We always want to begin our programs with that. And so for those who can, if you would please stand as we listen to this video presentation of the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, which will be followed by our panel presentation.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky.
Let it
resound
Let it resound.
loud as the rolling sea.
I like this part right here. Come on.
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on
Let us march on.
till victory is won.
Now we add a little something to it. Just to encourage you. We're gonna take you to church later. Let's go.
We'll keep marching, fighting till the victory is won.
To all my brothers out there.
Hold your head up, brothers, till the victory is won.
To all my sisters in the struggle.
Keep believing, sister, till the victory is won.
Till that day. Hey.
Let us march on
To victory.
till victory is won. Is won.
So now I'll ask the panel. I'll ask our panelists to please make their way forward as I just briefly introduce what we're going to be talking about today. So as I mentioned earlier, our national theme for Black History Month is African Americans and the Arts. And so today we'll be having a conversation that looks at that larger theme as it relates to Prince George's County, and specifically as it relates to the work that is done here in the Department of Parks and Recreation by our team, our staff, with the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division. And so we'll looking forward to a great conversation, and I'm going to briefly introduce them, but really I want them to introduce themselves in their own words as we have this deeper discussion about the state of the arts in Prince George's County and the role that African American artists have in that. And so today we have with us Sonia Kitchens, who is the Assistant Division Chief of the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division, Amara Brown, who is the Managing Director of Prince George's Public Playhouse, Megan Merchant, who is the Arts Specialist of the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division, and Mr. Alex Simpson, who is the Visual and Public Art Coordinator of the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division. So, hopefully this is working. Can you all hear me? Kinda, sorta, testing. Can you hear me now? There we go. So thank you all for joining me here today to talk about this important subject. And before we go further, I think also I want to just acknowledge the rest of the staff of the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division that's here with us. The Division Chief, Ms. Katrina Williams, I know is here. She could raise her hand. And then the rest of the staff I know are around here in the auditorium out. If you could just kind of wave your hand so that we can acknowledge you all as well for the important work that you do here in Prince George's County. So that said, I wonder if I could just start off by asking each of you all if you could just really introduce yourself more fully than I did by talking about what is your role in the division and kind of explain for people who may not be familiar with the arts at all, what it is that you do in that role. You want to start? Not all at once.
Hi, again, I'm Sonia Kitchens. I am the Assistant Division Chief for the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division. And primarily, my role is to support the staff and also to support what we do as a department and as a division. It is important to us that we are advocates for artists, but also that we are able to provide opportunities for our residents in Prince George's County, Montgomery County, and throughout the region to enjoy performances that may not otherwise be affordable. We provide opportunities for musicians to be able to tour. So employment of musicians is really important to us. Paying musicians is important to us, and really contributing to the ecosystem of the arts.
I guess we'll just work our way
up. Well said. So my name's Omar Brown. I'm the Public Playhouse, the managing director there. So I've got a staff. There's a couple full-time employees and an army of part-time employees that help us operate. We present dance, film, music, theater. We have community, more community engagement-oriented programming as well. There is an art exhibition that happens 5 times a year. We're open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, for people to come in and experience that, as well as the rest of our programs are, date specific. Most of them being ticketed, some are free. We endeavor to present high quality arts presentation. And as Sonia mentioned, we also aim to make it accessible. Certainly in a secondary way, we employ artists, a lot of them from this area, and many of them happen to be African American. So that's, roughly that's what we hope to do. We also ask you all as the patrons what they want to see, and it's important for us to present things that are relevant to you all, as well as things that we feel like you would benefit from experiencing. So at a high level, my responsibility is to program all of that.
And I am a performing arts specialist, and that term seems a bit broad, but for the most part what I do is I bring the arts to the community where they're at. So I'm across all of Prince George's County and some Montgomery County programming. I do theater programming, dance programming, as well as some cultural arts events, including the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month opening reception that'll be here at Harmony Hall May 4th. Some of my keynote programs are the Shakespeare in the Parks, where we activate parks in Prince George's County and Montgomery County, the Choreographer Showcase, where we highlight the most talented choreographers in our community, as well as the Teen Performance Ensemble. It's a paid ensemble of teens who perform across all of our summer camp programs. And I've been with the commission for about 5 years now and started off at the Public Playhouse with Omrao as assistant director.
Hello? Yes. Alex Simpson here. I've been in the arts since, hold your seats, 1977. And I've been with the commission since 2008, and I can tell you that the arts are alive and well in Prince George's County. I've had many jobs all over the country, and I can say that this is my most favorite job of all that I have done all these years. I say that because Prince George's County has been unapologetic about supporting its artists. So we talked about presenting artists, but we also buy their art. So that helps an artist very much. If you are walking at some of our sites and you see art on the outside, you know that probably my office had something to do with that artwork being there. If you see art in any of the office spaces or any of the conference rooms, more than likely our office had something to do with that. So I'm proud to say that I am the coordinator for visual and public art and am looking forward to many more opportunities for presenting art in Prince George's County.
Thank you. I guess building off, and I'll start with you, Alec, as you mentioned that you've been in this field a long time, and so maybe starting with you and the rest could talk about what were the positions that you held in the arts prior to coming to the commission, and kind of how has that informed your work that you do now?
Well, I guess my first job was in Connecticut, at the Connecticut Commission for the Arts, where I worked there as a consultant. And from there, I went to be a fellow at the National Endowment for the Arts. And once at the National Endowment for the Arts, I worked in the symphony program. They must have liked me, they kept me on, and I stayed there for a project that involved looking at the collections in historically black colleges and universities, the HBCUs. And I'm proud to say that a person who was key in working on that project was David Driscoll, who is a noted name in this. So the idea was that these colleges and universities had fabulous artworks, but what about the care of them? What about the demonstration of them how are they presented on the walls, et cetera? So this project was to preserve those, to make sure that collections were taken care of, and so I worked with that project with the National Endowment for the Arts. Later on, I got a position at the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities, where I retired from there as the deputy director. That was a very interesting job to have, to see the arts, because there I was the person who worked with the team. I don't know why I have so much feedback on the mic. Maybe I have to do it without the mic? Okay. So wow. So there I had the opportunity to build the public art program under Mayor Berry. Now, you may hear a lot about Mayor Berry, but let me tell you this. Of the mayors that I worked for, Marion Berry was the best. I can say that. And let me tell you, his philosophy was, I know nothing about the arts except they are good for people. And from that standpoint, we built our public art program in DC. So I was happy to be there to do that project. Later on, I retired from that position and went to the Dance Institute of Washington with Fabian Bartz. How many of you know about that program? So I was there. Gosh, I guess it doesn't like me. It doesn't like me, so I have to project. So it's just not working. Maybe it's mine. So anyway, is it someone else's mic? Is that it? Okay, I went to the Dance Institute of Washington to build their building at Monroe and 14th Street, and that's where I got building experience. My first day on the job was to go down to Virginia with the construction people and do something called value engineering. Now, I'm an artist. I didn't know what value engineering is. Do you know what value engineering is? Value engineering is when you have a building and you have to look at it and you say, oh, the numbers are not matching. I got to take out this toilet. I got to take out this bathroom. I got to take out this, that, and whatever. So that was my first day on the job for construction, learning value engineering. So I can tell you that I had to learn a lot with that job. So I was there for about 3 years. This is not all about me. So how I ended up with MNC PPC. I participated in a program called Leadership Greater Washington. Do you all know that? I mean, there's a Leadership Prince George's County, and there's a Leadership Greater Washington. And so I was participating in that program, and a person who was very active in that program was Howard Stone. How many people know Howard Stone? The great Howard Stone. So I met Howard in that program. He pulled me aside and he said, Alec, there is a position coming up that I think that you should throw your hat in the ring for in Prince George's County. I know you have an arts background. I think you would be good for Prince George's County, and Prince George's County would be good for you. I said, well, thanks, Howard. Okay. I put in the application, went through the process, and got the job as the first director of the Brentwood Arts Exchange. So, and I had the privilege of being able to name it the Brentwood Arts Exchange. But here's the moral of the story. I understood later that someone on the interview panel had met me earlier. And I didn't remember the person, I didn't know the person, but they were on the interview panel and they said that I had impressed them with the assistance I gave them when they were looking to help one of their relatives in the arts when I was with the DC Arts Commission, and they remembered my customer service. I didn't remember that person, I didn't know anything, okay? And that was what got me the job here in Prince George's County. So the 3 lessons I got was, number 1, being in the right place at the right time. I made the personal investment in Leadership Greater Washington of the time and my own money to pay for that. Number 2, on my job, I always tried to do my best wherever I was. And number 3, if there is anything about the arts one should know, is that it is a contact sport.
Yeah, I agree with Alec. It's definitely a contact sport. It's not for the weak at all. And you wear many hats in the arts. So like you said, buildings, construction, and so forth. So I've been working in the arts for 18 years, mostly in nonprofit organizations. And in many of these organizations, historically, the leadership does not look like the people they're serving. And so there was always this struggle of having my voice heard at these organizations and getting the work done on an authentic level. And that's one thing I really love being here at the commission. We're here where the community is. We're working directly with the community, and there's also leadership that look like the community, which is a beautiful thing. I started off at Washington Performing Arts as a prestigious arts organization. I mainly worked in arts education. Whenever we had an artist in town, let's say Jazz at Lincoln Center, Sonny Rollins, whoever it may be, we would manage workshops with the community. My most favorite moment was when John Baptiste came to UDC, and from the van to the classroom, he could not stop playing his little little keyboard thing and whatnot. So I got a I got a front row seat at these amazing artists and being able to connect them to DC Public Schools, to Prince George's County Public Schools in these masterclass programs. Then I moved on to an incubator that was a startup organization called Halcyon Arts Lab, where I worked with artists that worked with social justice practices. And what I mean by that is they would take their art and they would pick an issue and make sure that that art exemplified that issue. They would work as activists in that role. And it was a beautiful thing to see them present their work for the community, for arts galleries and whatnot. And then I also spent some time at DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities as a grants coordinator. And again, seeing folks of color in leadership supporting the arts in the community was a beautiful thing to see. So that's my experience. I'm sorry. I also worked as a professional dancer. That's like a big part of my story. I studied dance in undergrad. I danced with Le Soleil's Dance Project, which was a South African dance company, and we also did modern dance. We worked at festivals, we did school events, teaching kids, and I also worked as a dancer for the NBA. So that's my background.
Before I begin, I want to echo something specific about the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division, and I guess it extends to some extent, in addition to having leadership that represents the community we're in, we also have a really strong, I almost work for, I think the entire time, all the leadership, at least in my division that's been above me, has been women. That's been a great thing. I was born into a house. My dad was a musician, so music has always been around. But I trained as an engineer, electrical engineer. I designed computers for a number of years. But during that time, I started, I had a radio station, college radio station, hip-hop format. I worked for a really early on, late 90s, multimedia internet company called Pseudo.com with a jazz radio show and a jazz news program. Producing and DJing. I then moved on, probably within 10 years, I left engineering and opened with a couple partners, my brother and another good friend of ours. Yeah. I thought there might be somebody actually speaking in here. As I was saying, we took over, wrote a business plan and got some investors, borrowed some money, and took over a legacy venue in DC, Bohemian Caverns. I was owner-operator there for 10 years, 2006 to 2016. In addition to that, we had a nightclub on the top 2 floors of that same building, Live, and we programmed, in addition to DJ events, we had a lot of live music up there, poetry, all kinds of community events. So that's on U Street in DC, which I would say is an extension certainly of this whole arts community. When we closed in 2016, I worked for myself for a couple of years, still self-producing, did some production work for clients, work at the Kennedy Center, did some work with Dave Chappelle, and then Miss Kitchens, actually, is how I came to know of the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division here. And we did a little bit of work at Montpelier Arts Center. And then I applied for a job here. I didn't get the first one. I think they wanted me to drive down here to Harmony Hall, and I was not interested in that. But I eventually, the position at Public Playhouse opened up, and I really love what we provide for the community. So I'll move on to Ms. Kitchens.
So my entree into the arts was a little different. I actually had worked in the nonprofit sector before coming to the department, and my background had been in public relations, communications, membership development, and so that transitioned to me coming to the department in a different capacity. I actually started at the Prince George's Sports and Learning Complex, where I was responsible for getting people in and doing things. And then I had the opportunity actually to have been the assistant director at all of the art centers with the exception of Brentwood Arts Exchange. And then, and did that for a number of years. And then at some point, I ended up managing 2 facilities at the same time, Prince George's Public Playhouse and Montpelier Arts Center. And I will say that one of the interesting things is that Montpelier Arts Center, I was only the 2nd director there, and so I was the first person of color in management at that site. And what I remember most was that I had a lot of people in the community who were very excited, very willing to assist me and help me and to give feedback. And what was really, really important was that, again, as Megan was saying, that they had someone who looked like them in the position. And then also, we were able to really have these conversations about what the community needed, what the community was looking for, and to be able to respond. And I learned quickly that there were some generational gaps, but it was important to me that we were able to still present musicians, and particularly jazz. Jazz at Montpelier was a very, very important program that I really, really believed in, because the jazz artists were not as rampant, not as popular in mainstream music. And so really having the opportunity to be able to present those artists, as well as classical music, that has been really important. And that was probably one of the pivotal times within my career. And then from there, being able to grow into different levels and to get to where I am now. But I could not have done it, though, without the knowledge and support of the team around me, because people like Alec, Megan, and Omrao, they bring so much to the table and have such a vast experience that everyone benefits from. And I think that within our agency department in this area, we are so fortunate that we do have people who are keeping in mind people of color, people of different abilities, people who come from different backgrounds, and that we try to make the arts as accessible as possible. And then programs like this where it is collaborative, and we're able to do things that benefit everyone.
Hope there's no feedback now. 2 things I wanted to say. One was just, listening to all of y'all's stories, and I know parts of them already, but some things I learned that were new. I'm always amazed at the level of talent and expertise that we have in our Arts and Cultural Heritage Division, as well as other divisions, but the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division. And I'm always honored to be able to work with you all, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to have this conversation today on this platform, is just to be able to share with our wider community kind of what you all do and kind of the expertise that you all bring to it, because we do provide a high level of quality service to the community. So thank you all for sharing those stories. And then also, I think it's important for us to have this conversation too, because when we think about African Americans in the arts, we generally think about who's in the front, the singer or the dancer, but the arts is a broad field that encapsulates a lot of different roles and responsibilities, and so I think that's important for us to share that for people who may be interested in the arts and are kind of thinking about what's the lane or what's the role that I might want to play, and you can see there are lots of different roles that you can play, not just being the lead singer, or you could be the grants administrator, you can be the person that's helping to get an art center built. There's a lot of different roles, and so I think that's a key takeaway from this conversation. Going back to, I think, something that both Megan and Sonia brought up, and so maybe if Alec or Amara want to take this on, or you all want to expand upon that, is to talk about, as we talk about African Americans in the arts, what are the obstacles that you have experienced as an African American in the arts, as an African American woman in the arts, and kind of how have you been able to overcome those challenges and those obstacles? And maybe also on the flip side, what are the opportunities that you have seen as well as being an African American in the arts?
I'll jump in here really quickly. It didn't really occur to me how unusual my role was until I was at a conference in New York with the Association for Performing Arts, Association for Professionals in Performing Arts, and I was talking and doing my touring and looking at different acts to bring to the county, and I was talking to a black dance company, and we were talking about, in particular, I was at the time looking to present at the Public Playhouse, and the director of that company said, "Do you know how rare you are?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "There are not many black women, not many blacks, and not many women who have the capacity to bring in black dance troupes, who have the capacity to be able to be influential." And so one of the things that we're so proud about at the Public Playhouse is we've had a long tenure with Dallas Black Dance Theater. Then they're out of, thank you, they're out of Dallas, Texas, but really having the conversation with that company, so much of what we do allows them to continue with their company. There were years where they thought they were going to fold, but because we could anchor them here in the county for a residency, it made all the difference to them in the future of the organization. And so having that conversation, really thinking about the rarity, thinking about the immense responsibility and accountability to the community, it's been really, so it's both a challenge and an opportunity, because then I have the opportunity to have these conversations with other people who are coming into their arts administration careers and explaining to them what they're looking for and being able to have the conversations. And so for me, that has really been a plus and has been a great opportunity to further the arts for everyone, because just because it's a black dance company or what have you, there's so many ways that we can grow and that we can communicate together.
And I just want to speak real quick on the challenges of being African American in the arts. We're underserved, underfunded, underrepresented. And what I find the hardest is to find the words and articulate what I'm experiencing and having that come to fruition at my organizations. And in the moment, I want to be able to make it a teachable moment when I hear something problematic, or if I want to grow a program and I see it going in a wrong direction. Quick story, I was in the box office at an organization. Someone called in complaining that a gospel choir was performing at their favorite venue and how much they were upset about it. And how do I take that moment, maybe they don't know I'm black, on the phone, to teach them about the history of gospel and how important it is to our community. And then a director pulling me into their office to name 3 Patti LaBelle songs because they don't believe that she can sell tickets at the Kennedy Center. Exactly, exactly. And then another organization grabs her up and presents her at the Kennedy Center, so yeah. So having those moments, I know, right? But having those moments where my voice can be heard, where I can find the words to be able to represent the community have been really important. And so I'm a founding member or founding board member of the Arts Administrators of Color. And we've gathered artists from across the DMV to lift each other up, to vent to each other. Like, is it just me? Am I crazy? Is this going on at your organization? A lot of us are fatigued. We're tired. We're tired of the microaggressions that we experience each day. And so having that group and supporting each other has been very helpful. And now the organization has gone across the country, and there's chapters in Philly, in California, all over the country of arts administrators of color that are looking for support and a streamline of opportunities. So that's been something that I've really taken away from that experience.
Alec or Amaral?
Well, I'll say, we are talking about the arts. We happen to be in the United States. And one of the, in my own opinion, certainly don't quote me on this, it's not necessarily a fact, but I feel like the United States exports 3 things really well, one being war, which we'll leave that alone for the moment, but innovation and entertainment are unbelievable coming from here. And African Americans' contribution to art and entertainment in the United States is grand. But that same art for art's sake is not always supported in the same ways. So, we have this opportunity, but also I think like a responsibility. The challenge, I would say, is not necessarily that I'm black or that I'm a man or any of the things that in society are inherent with that. But it's tough. We present this music, but we don't necessarily have young people who, so you guys all have children. It's hard for me to get a room full of young black people to see a jazz concert, for example. So I think those are some of the more, for me, they've been choices that I've made in terms of what I present. And Adafor is probably the grandest challenge for me is the legacy of those art forms that we've innovated in this country, and their legacy and the future. The future is bright from a performer standpoint, but from an audience standpoint, we have a lot of work to do.
Al, do you want to add anything?
One of the greatest challenges for me has been, as a black person, to show equity to everyone, no matter their race. And I think that that's an important thing in the arts. At the same time that you do that, you know that some areas need a little bit more push. For example, in the area of public art, there are not that many black artists that are doing public art, and that's where the big bucks are. So what we try to do is have these black artists that are not quite at the point of leading a project by themselves to link with another artist to get that experience. So we try to groom our people who are less experienced in the arts, especially African Americans in the area of public art, to have a place at the table. It is a challenge, because when you have the image of being unfair, that's a hard nut to crack in terms of dealing with the public. But at the same time, we know that there are inequities, but we should be doing things that help those people who need the leg up, and that's what we try to do in our public art program. And I think that we've been fairly successful at that, but there is a lot more work that we need to do in that area.
Kind of, I guess, picking up on that thought, what would you all say is, what things would you like to see in the community, and specifically the Prince George's County community? What would you like to see people do, our community members do, to help out that process, to help get younger people to public playhouse, to get more people interested in public art? Like, what can community members do to help support that type of effort?
Who's an educator out here, or an executive? Yeah, all the administrators in education. Really early on in people's lives, exposure. They don't have to play an instrument, but there's kids that are running around at 16 have not seen, it's less likely in Prince George's County than most places in DC, but there are still kids that at 16 have never seen three people with different instruments make a song on a stage or in a band room. That's a big piece. They haven't seen people rehearsing lines for a play, or, arts education and exposure is a big piece of it. I would also say, in a weird way, DC and Prince George's County, I think specifically between the black church and go-go music, is probably the best locale for a lot of musicians maybe in the world, without traveling. I'd love to see that documentary. But I really think the main thing for me is early exposure for young folks to the arts. It is invaluable.
Anybody else want to add?
Yeah, it's highlighting and acknowledging the art that's there. So if you're on social media, it's sending out a shout out to your favorite artist or someone local that's doing something really cool in the community. It's bringing a friend with you to a play that's never seen it before. It's buying that artwork from that local artist that needs the support. So just coming and engaging and inviting other people is a really important role that you can play.
Alec, or something?
I'm good. I think I can go through.
I guess another question is, and this kind of builds off of what Amaral was talking about from his perspective, what do you see are the unique and and special things about the art scene here in Prince George's County, here in the DMV, and how can we, lean into those special and unique things and capitalize upon them and use that to grow and expand.
I can start on that one. One of the things that Prince George's County does well, or should I say better than most communities, and we can do better, is providing artist housing and artist studio spaces. The artists from DC, they can't afford it. And they come to Prince George's County to find spaces. That's how we are building our arts community, because they are running from these places where they can't afford the rent. So we need to expand on housing and studio space for artists. And if we do that, we will have a really dynamic arts community here in Prince George's County.
We definitely have a vibrant community that wants to see the art, right? But it's all about community and sharing that experience. And I just have to toot the horn of our wonderful Fairwood Community Park, where we have a music festival every summer. And just being there, last year was my first time at the festival, and just being there and feeling the vibe, it felt like a family reunion. Everybody brought their snacks, their lawn chairs, their tents, and just listened to good music and celebrated local artists. And that's what it's all about, having a space that we can come together, have a good time, enjoy music, and support these artists that are so talented working in this community.
Make sure I'm on, yeah. I think Alec touched on it earlier. Marion Barry, whatever you think about him, he definitely was a staunch supporter of the arts. And the return on investment at a government level, at any level, national straight down to hyper-local, in the arts is something, we're all a product of it. All of us up here work for, we're not a unicorn, but the arts in Parks and Recs is not something that you have everywhere. But this country would probably feel a little different if that was the case. So you look at this area and it's got some indigenous art forms, go-go, certainly has not exported, but it is a huge, huge piece of an economy here in many, many ways. It supports, certainly if you were to, try to attach a tax number to go-go, it would be a measurable revenue generator for, the municipalities in the area. And it's put, it's been a great legacy, and Chuck was up there earlier, and, this style of artwork, as a concert promotion is unique to this area. There are a ton of legacies here that are a function of really an area in time that I would say surrounds maybe the 60s into the 70s and continuing straight through to current day. And there's been lulls, and the arts is not always seen as necessary. But we all just got through a pandemic, and everybody wanted to see some kind of art just as something to do. So I think continuation of investment, and it doesn't require a lot. One of my mentors, Daryl Brooks, took municipal trucks in DC and Chuck Brown's band and a couple others, and put arts in the parks through a nonprofit at the time called Compared to What, and that turned into go-go music. It was a funds matching grant. He had to raise the other half. A concert, actually the guy, Tony Taylor, who owned the Caverns in the 60s and 70s, taught him how to promote concerts to make the other half of the grant money that he had to raise. And he hired kids in the city, et cetera. And so, it was just as an example of what's possible. He went on he threw out the mothership. He, from Parliament Funkadelic, he toured all kinds of acts throughout the country. But his career and everything that blossomed from that started from a really small concept in terms of arts support through grants in this area. So those things are really important. They come from really small ideas. They don't require many dozens of millions of dollars necessarily. Most of the arts, all the people that you see on stage at the Grammys, at the Super Bowl, they started somewhere really small, a room with 100 people in it or less. So the initial seed is not hard to enable, and who knows where it goes.
So our department is the largest arts presenter in the county, second only to maybe the Clarice. And so we have the unique opportunity to expose everyone to all kinds of arts. And I think about some of the things that we've been able to do as an agency. We presented, back when I was at the Public Playhouse, Black Violin. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with that particular group, but we were able to get them as they were on the upswing. Now they're performing in bigger houses, but really giving young people the opportunity to see classical music in a different way, and really working with the community. And so I think for us, what's really on the horizon is partnerships. So really looking at other arts organizations, looking at the community, and really looking at how we can really, really make a difference. We can't do it all alone. We're just a core group here, along with our leadership out in the audience. But it's really about partnerships. There are so many people who are smarter than us. There are so many people who are thinking differently than us. And so it can't be just us. And really, I would say that the future for us really looks like innovation, but innovation together and working in the community. I know Megan talked a lot about community, but really looking at what the definition of community is. But in terms of, for us, continuing some of these vibrant partnerships we've had, we have a partnership here that is the Foundation for the Advancement of Music Education, and they're really looking at working with young people. We have a partnership with the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts. So there are lots of arts organizations out there that are really looking to do great things. And so together, really, I think the landscape for Prince George's County and in this region in particular really is going to be about working together in community and really, really everyone empowering each other. And then one of the things that Alec talked about a little bit earlier was about art appreciation and how we develop our audiences. And so getting young people out here to understand that arts is not scary. I know oftentimes people will see something on the wall and think that they have to understand it. But to know that you don't have to understand it, you can just have your own reaction to it, that is a way that people can really grow and really develop an affinity for it, and an affinity for what they hear. They may not understand it, but it can challenge people to think differently. And so that's what we hope to do. This is what our division really, really works hard at, and we really, really are, I think, buoyed by the reception we get. We talked about live performances. It's nothing like, I like to be backstage, but if you ever go to a live performance, what the actors and what the cast gets is the energy from the audience. So I would encourage that you all continue to feed into the arts, that you all continue to give your energy to the arts, your thoughts to the arts, become patrons of the arts, become collectors of artwork, because I think that's how we as a county will continue to grow, and that's how we will develop young budding artists, and we will be able to support artists who have been in the game for a long time.
And I think that's the perfect way to end this conversation. And so, again, I would like to thank Ms. Sonia Kitchens, Mr. Emerald Brown, Ms. Megan Merchant, and Mr. Alex Simpson for taking time to share with all of us today. And as we continue to contemplate what we can do together as a community to uplift the arts, and particularly to uplift people of color in the arts as well. So thank you all again.
And thank you, Dennis Doster.
No? Okay, good. So I'm putting on my other hat back to being the MC for today. As we move to the end of our program portion, we're going to move to something that people are always waiting for, is the unveiling of our annual Black History Month poster. So I'm going to invite let's give it a round of applause. So I'm going to invite Mr. Stuart Diekmeyer, who is the visual arts specialist with the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division, to come forward and do that presentation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stuart Diekmeyer, and I serve as the visual arts specialist. There's a few of us, specialists, as you heard, for the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division of the MNC PPC, Prince George's County Department of Parks and Recreation. The annual Black History Month poster is created through a collaboration among the department's Black History program of the Natural and Historical Resources Division, the Public Affairs and Community Engagement Division, and the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division. This year marks the first time that the Pyramid Atlantic Arts Center in Hyattsville, Maryland, partnered with MNC PPC to host the Black History Program Visual Arts Internship to create this year's commemorative poster. Five student artists ranging in age from 15 to 17 were selected for participation in this year's poster internship from a competitive pool of teen artist applicants. They are Cameron Jacobs, Chitlin High School; Patricia Liu, Eleanor Roosevelt High School; Lauren Boyd, she's here, Chitlin High School; Janiyah Drakeford, Charles Herbert Flowers High School; and Tyler Inyama, Charles Herbert Flowers High School as well. Through a series of field trips to local past and present music venues such as Wilmer's Park, and through lectures, Dr. Doster provided the participating artist interns with crucial historical background information. The artist interns were then guided by two Pyramid Atlantic teaching artists, Sarah Matthews and Corey Richardson, to interpret this year's Black History Month theme, taking center stage Black musicians and Prince George's County music venues from the Chitlin circuit to the present. The final collaborative design of the artist interns was then printed at Pyramid Atlantic by the student artists using the letterpress printing method, which emulates the aesthetic look of the original concert posters of the era, and you saw those earlier. This original letterpress artwork created by the artist interns was then scanned and transformed to the final poster format for broad distribution by Eric Wheatley, Senior Graphic Designer of the Public Affairs and Community Engagement Division. I am happy to report that these posters will be available to you shortly in the lobby after the unveiling. They may also be picked up from numerous MNC PPC facilities throughout the month of February. Also, let me add that if you have an event with a lot of people during Black History Month, you can reach out to me, and you can come up to me and I'll give you my email, and I can provide you some boxes of posters. So. Okay, at this time, Dr. Dost and I would like to invite the following people to please join us on stage for the formal unveiling of the 2024 poster. Our chairman of the Prince George's County Planning Board, Mr. Peter Shapiro; Dorothy Bailey, vice chair of the Prince George's County Planning Board; our director of MNC PPC, Bill Tyler; our deputy director, Steve Carter; executive director of Pyramid Atlantic, Kate Taylor Davis; engagement manager of Pyramid Atlantic, Nemesis Zambrano; resident Pyramid Atlantic teaching artist, Sarah Matthews and Corey Richardson; our student artists, Cameron Jacobs, not sure how many are here. Patricia Liu, Lauren Boyd, Janiyah Drakeford, and Tyler Inyama. Okay. I would also like to take a moment just to acknowledge the division leadership for this project. Christine Fanning, Division Chief of the Natural and Historical Resources Division. Katrina Williams, Division Chief of the Arts and Cultural Heritage Division. Anika Jackson, Division Chief for Public Affairs and Community Engagement Division. Kevin Cabrera, Assistant Division Chief for NHRD. Sonia Kitchens, Assistant Division Chief for ACHD. And Alex Taff, Division Chief, Assistant Division Chief for PACE. And just on a side note, I would like to also thank my supervisor, who was on the panel, Alex Simpson. We have a lot of fun doing the art. And also Artura Jackson, who's the historian for the Black History program. Thank you. Okay.
And as Stuart said, those posters are now available out in the lobby, so make sure that you take one or two on your way out. And they will be available all throughout the month of February while supplies last at all of our facilities here in the Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County. So one closing note, I want to give some closing remarks, and the main thing is asking everyone to tune into our website, www.pgparks.com/Black History, to see all of the events that we have throughout the month. And please support those events, as many as you can. And if you can't attend, please spread the word with others as well. So what would be opening reception about Black music and music venues in Prince George's County without some music, right? So this is closing out the official portion of our reception. We still do have some hors d'oeuvres and food available outside, but we will now turn it over to Miss Pam Ward and friends, who will be performing a little mini concert for us as we reflect on the era of the Chitlin circuit, as we reflect on R&B and soul music, as we talk about this history. We're now going to listen to that history through song. And so please welcome, as they come to the stage, Miss Pam Ward and friends.
Good evening. How y'all doing? All right, now what we're not gonna do is be quiet in the Black History program. We're gonna talk back. How y'all doing? All right. You're welcome to come up and share the too if you want to. So, we did this a few years back. We called it the Chitlin Circuit. So it's just reminiscent of some songs that are ours, of course, come from America, and of course, through our Black history, through our culture, and just some songs you may know, some of them you may not know, I'm not sure. We're gonna do our renditions of them, but there are songs that are done by wonderful people like Sarah Vaughan, who are some of my favorites, Ella Fitzgerald, Dinah Washington. But you know, a lot of these songs, it's plenty of versions of them out there, but we're gonna do ours today. Is that all right? All right. One more time, Pete. We're gonna sing this. Can you sing it with me? You know this, right? Come on, sing. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. One more time, sing it, Wade. Sing, y'all hear you? Don't stop, Pete. We're going to keep going. Now, like my great-grandmama told me, I stepped in the water, and the water was cold. God's... What'd it do? It chilled my body, but not my soul. Let's wrap it up right here. Come on. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Right there. God's gonna trouble the water. Y'all singing? I see we got some choir members out there today. Put your hands up. I know y'all out there because y'all sound real good. It wasn't one off note, and you knew how to follow directions. I like you. So we're just going to have a good old time. Is that all right? All right. And then the program, did you enjoy the food today? The program, everything that was shown before? Okay. So we're going to, let's see. I got a set list here, but I don't know what to start with first. Anybody got any ideas? No? Huh? You say Sarah Vaughan? Well, Sarah Vaughan did a couple of these, so we did Wade in Water. Let's see. One of my favorites. Pete, let's go to All of Me. We're going to do All of Me. Is that all right? You going to sing with me too? Okay, I appreciate that. And we also get my saxophone player, Eddie Backus, out here some of the time too, right? Yes. Go ahead, Eddie, play a little bit. Uh-huh. Yeah. Eddie Backus Jr., y'all. Give it up. Right here, y'all. all of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good, dear, without you? Yeah. Take my lips, I'll never use them. Take my hands, I'll never ever lose them. Your goodbyes left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart. So why not take all of me? Come on, Pete, take it a little bit for him. It's all right if you clap, yes. Can you give it up for my partner in crime, my MD, Mr. Pete Chapman on keys? All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good, dear, without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my hands, I'll never, ever, ever use them. Your goodbyes, they left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? So why not take all of me? Yeah. So why not take all of me? Thank you. Quite a few you knew that one. I saw you singing. I could see you from back here. Yes, you. She was singing every word. I love it. Let's see. All of me. Oh, I thought that was somebody. Can we have the keyboards and the saxophone players monitor, please? We want to make sure we get that right for him. Please, please, please. Play a little bit, Eddie, make sure you can hear. Sometimes you just got to, get the technical stuff done to make sure. Yep, that's good. So this next song is a favorite of mine as well. You probably notice if I say it, written by Mr. Fats Waller, the music. Any of y'all know that one? Okay. So it was written in I have my notes over here. Written in 1929, written and recorded. Music was by Mr. Fats Waller, and of course, was on Broadway, off Broadway. And I had to do the song. One of the ways this came about is I was in a play that was based in like the 40s, and I already loved Ella Fitzgerald, and then we start doing a lot of this music. And then we came up with this Chitlin circuit thing just to do it. I love to do it. This music is beautiful. It's you still hear it, you still want to tap your toes, clap your hands. That's a classic right there. You could play it today, and people will still get up and dance, right? Mm-hmm. Come on. Yeah, Pete. Yeah. You waiting on me or y'all going? Keep on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No one to talk with, all by myself. No one to talk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. I know for certain, the one I love, I'm through with flirting, it's you I'm thinking of. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere. What do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Believe me, I don't stay out late, don't care to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. Come on, Eddie. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere. What do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Please believe me, I don't stay out late, don't care to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio, saving my love for you. I don't stay out late, don't care to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Okay. All right. Give it up one more time for Mr. Eddie Backus on saxophone. Huh? Oh, yes. Mr. Eddie Backus Jr. I got to get it right. Me and Pete be here. It's telepathic sometimes. My love has come along. My lonely days are over. And life is like a song. Oh, yeah, yeah. At last, the skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clovers. The night I looked at you, I found a dream that I could cling to. A dream that I could call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I never know that in heaven. For you are mine. While we're in that vein, we want to just go ahead and Porgy and Bess. Y'all know about that Porgy and Bess, right? All right. Let's do a little bit. So, of course, I knew about Summertime a little bit later, but I do like the classics, so I did look it up with Porgy and Bess. But this version I loved by Fantasia as well, so we're going to mix it a little bit in there. And the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your mama good looking. So hush, little baby. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and take to the sky. But until that moment, it's okay. One more time, Mr. Eddie Backus Jr. One of these Mondays, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and take to the sky. But until that morning, there's nothing can harm you. So, also on bass, I have to let y'all know, Mr. Adrian Egg Norton on bass. And this one is simply known by one name on drums, keeping time for us. That's Spider, y'all. That boy good. We gonna find somewhere to give Spider a solo too, ain't it? Yeah. We gonna let him show off a little bit. Is that all right? Okay. Let's see. You want to pick it up a little bit right here, or we can throw in something a little bit newer? Pick it up. Okay. Let's see. Yes. This one is by Miss Jill Scott, but she reminds me, just her whole style, her singing, everything reminds me of some of the classics. So I had to throw a little bit of something of that in here. Yes. It's all right for you to clap your hands too. Nod your head, snap your fingers. I love it all. Listen, listen, listen to me. I've been talking to this man. He's been saying what I like, and he makes me smile when I'm down, so down. He says sweet things in my ear, all the things I needed to hear. But that's as far as it's gone. I promise, but I enjoy it, I love it so, but it seems like I'm always alone. You're at arm's reach, but baby, where are you? Where are you? 'Cause I got this fire, sweet and true, but I'm cold as ice around you. 'Cause I'm lonely whenever you're around. Hey, said I'm lonely whenever. Chapman on keys. One more time, give it up for Pete Chapman, y'all. Oh, what happened to the wonderful thing we had? It seems like we're missing in action. And I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. And I don't want to miss his good life, but I ain't scared. And I don't want to be the only one participating in that, 'cause I'm lonely whenever you're around. Hey, said I'm lonely whenever you're around. One more time, said I'm lonely whenever you're around. Yeah. Well, thank you. Let's see. Where you want to go now? We're going to take it back a little bit more. So this jazz standard, written in 1954, co-written by the incredible Miss Billie Holiday. Oh, is that wrong? No, I'm sorry. Written by Errol Garner. I wasn't at that song yet. And Errol Garner was from Pittsburgh, a black man, African American. And he was a pianist and composer. And some of you from DC may also. I don't know. No, Chuck Brown, fool. the godfather of go-go. Where we at? He's such a saxophone player, right? Come on, Pete, give me a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, we can pick it up a little bit. Yeah. Y'all gonna sing it with me? Come on, right here. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play. Or could it be the sound of your hello, the music I hear? I get misty whenever you're near. Don't you know how helplessly you're lost? That's 'cause I'm following you. On my own, hey. Should I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove? I get misty, and I'm too much in love. Come on, Eddie. Give us some more, Eddie. Keep going. Give it up for Eddie Backus Jr., y'all. They said they wanted to go to a pocket. We are from the DMV, aren't we? So it's all right. I don't know if y'all can get up, but I know you can clap your hands and tap your feet, right? Can they get up if they feel like it? I mean, if you want to get up at your seats and party a little bit, that's all right. I hear you. That's right, sir. I love it. Start the party. Yes. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. Feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play. Or could it be the sound of your hello? I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. You could say that you're leading me on, but that's just what I want you to do. Can't you see how hopelessly I'm lost? That's 'cause I'm following you. On my own, yeah. Should I wander through this wonderland alone? Never knowing my left from my right, my hat from my glove. I get misty, and I'm too much in love. I get misty, yeah, and I'm too much in love. I get misty, hey. I said I get misty. I get misty, hey. I get misty. I get misty, and I'm too much in love. By another of our contemporary greats, Miss Anita Baker. Can I get a little bit more on her monitor, please? Yes. When they go up a little bit, I can't hear. They got excited back there. Give it up for the band, y'all. I love it. I won't be neglected. I won't be denied the pleasure of your kisses, the pleasure of your smile. I think you take for granted I'll always be here just because I love you. It doesn't mean I won't disappear. Sing. I hear y'all. I'm missing you, baby. I'm missing you, baby. Thoughts of mellow memories of once upon a time slowly creeping on me and linger on my mind. Just let somebody love you. I just don't know why. Whenever I get close to you, you wanna run hard, been so long. I'm missing you, baby, been so long. I'm missing you, baby, it's been so long. Missing you, baby, been so long. I'm missing you, baby. Yeah. Come on, y'all. We began as lovers dance. The road was smooth to romance, and we sang love sweet songs every day. I believed that love would stay in our hearts, so it's all no love, but it's gone away. I can't say, I got to say, I don't believe that you can do me this way. Don't you understand? I'm in need of comfort, the comfort of your hand in mine. What I feel inside, when did you come closer? I can I can't hide. Ooh. Come on, Eddie. Told you I wanted to get everybody in. Mr. Eddie Backus Jr. and on bass, Mr. Egg Norton. Come on, Egg. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, Hank. Give it up for Mr. Egg Norton, y'all. Just to let you know, he is in the National Recording Group Phase 2 Jazz Band. So whenever you see Phase 2, it's Mr. Egg Norton on bass. All right, Spider. Come on, Spider. And also, you've heard him play all night, but Mr. Pete Chapman on keys and our MD. Keep it up. I don't want to get quiet again. Have you enjoyed yourself today? We got to get out of here in a few minutes, so we just going to end it. We ain't going to end it real soft like that, Pete, though. Come on. Let's bring it out. Come on. Because I keep telling you I can't do without you. Without you, don't ask me to do whatever, but without you, love, cause I won't do it. You can't make me do it. Baby. I said, babe, I have a baby, without baby, sweet baby, sweetie, baby. It's been too long. Come back home without baby, sweet baby. Shoo-doo-doo-doo. Thank you ever so much for coming out today. I'm so glad you enjoyed yourself, the food, the entertainment, the education. Give it up for yourselves. I am Pam Ward. These are my friends. Y'all have a great Sunday. God bless you.